Rated M for mature.
Don't let your kids what's it?
Alright, so that was a chapter where we were not playing from Shion's perspective. But now we're back. Okay. Sis called the morning after the Tanagashi festival to tell me that the curse had struck again for the 4th time. The victim was the evil aunt who had been harassing Satoshi-kun and Satoko. Satoshi-kun's suffering should be over now, since the problem was with Satoko and the aunt's relationship to begin with. Maybe I should have celebrated, but I wasn't in the mood for some reason.
犯人ってもう警察は目星をつけてるのかな?
Oishi is super sharp, but is he Rena sharp? Oishi, oh man, he's such a cool character. Because, like, you can tell he's, like, definitely on the side of justice and, like, trying to catch the culprit. He's got a few unsavory aspects with, like, where he's like, I like gambling and, like, like clubs and weird stuff. But, like, he is interesting because he's, like, such a friendly guy, but he also can be really terrifying. Because, like, you can tell he's just super smart and very savvy and gets a good read on people. Story's getting juicy now. Do the police have a lead on the suspect? Do they? Sis went quiet when I asked that.
さあね、大石の野郎がしつこく聞き込みをして回ってるみたい。犯人は近しい人間に違いないと思ってるようだね。
Being identical twins, Sis and I think very much alike. If I suspected Satoshi-kun of being the murderer, so would she. Because of this, I didn't have to mention the obvious.
サトシ君って祭りの日にアリバイあります？
どうだろう。
He was in his bedroom, making no noise and pretending he didn't exist. I heaved a huge sigh.
バカですね。サトシ君は祭りに来ていた。そういうことでいいじゃないですか。
そうだよね。
Oh, Shion's gonna be. You better give him a fake alibi.
気が利かなくてごめん。
I heaved another sigh. Sis was stupid enough to forget to make an alibi for him, even though the murder of his aunt alone would raise enough suspicion.
じゃあ、やっぱりサトシが？
サトシ君が殺したかどうかが問題じゃないでしょ。サトシ君が犯行の時間帯にアリバイがあったかが重要なんです。たく。
後で警察がうちに来るみたいだから、来たらサトシは祭りで一緒だったって言うよ。
おねえ、取ってつけた嘘なんか何の役にも立たないです。何も手を打たなかったなら、今さら小細工しても無駄ってことです。せいぜい正直に喋ってください。
Wow. Alright, Shion.
お姉は芝居が下手なんだから、変に意識するとかえって勘ぐられますからね。
It is like in chapter 3, yeah.
ごめん。
She sounded depressed. I was the one who should have been depressed. Mion usually handles things well, but she's not too good with emergencies. I was left worried for the future of the Sonozaki family. Mion must have been embarrassed. She soon changed the subject.
シオン、最近はあまりバイトに行けてなかったでしょ。
ご検察痛み入ります。おかげさまで。
Okay, don't try blaming her.
ごめん。今日は私、夜まで姿を隠してるから、バイトに出られるんじゃない？
Sis had been appearing in public places during festival preparations and whatnot. As a result, I hadn't been able to pretend to be her. I hadn't been able to work. As someone who had to support myself, it was a bit of a pain. To be honest, I didn't feel like working, but I couldn't afford to be sitting around either. When I locked my apartment door before leaving, the door of the next apartment opened and Kasai appeared.
シオンさん、お出かけですか？
そんなとこです。お姉が姿を隠してくれるそうなんで、久々にバイトに出ます。カサイ、暇だったらおじさんの店まで車を出してもらってもいい？
Can you, Kasai? Please.
シオンさん、しばらくはバイトを控えられた方がよろしくはないですか？事件のせいで警察は園崎家界隈を監視しているようですし、あまり姿を表に出さない方がいいのではないかと思います。
Yeah, you should probably listen to the Yakuza bodyguard.
お気遣いは嬉しいけど、バイトしないと食費もないわけですし。
Kasai might suggest he donate money to my cause. However, I had sworn to myself when I started living here that I wouldn't depend on Kasai. I appreciate your desire for independence, but it's kind of hard when you literally cannot go out in public if your sister's out in public. While I don't obey anyone else's rules, I stick to my own. Kasai could tell that I was adamant in my decision. So after repeating himself a couple times as a formal procedure, he decided to give me a ride after all. Every time we went to the uncle's store by car, we stopped at this traffic light. I knew it was going to happen again, but it still irritated me. Pedestrians passed by in front of the car. I was startled to see that one of them looked like Satoshi-kun. It was him. Though I'd spoken to him on the phone just a couple days before, it's been a while since I saw him last.
葛西、悪いけどおじさんにやっぱ今日のバイトは行けなくなったって伝えてくれる？
No, you aren't gonna go.
私ここで降ります。
You can't do that.
シオンさん。
Kasai looked taken aback, but I got out of the car regardless, and got run over by a train. The light turned green. The car behind him honked while Kasai was shouting at me, so he had to start moving. Satoshi-kun was on his bike, but he was going really slowly. What a lazy bum. I caught up with him in a flash and tapped him on the back. Don't do that!
ハロロー。
Don't tap him on the back if he's paranoid. He might kill you.
沖宮で会うなんて奇遇ですね、サトシ君。
If I talked to him with a smile, he might smile back. So I smiled as brightly as I could. Okay, so he did not disappear the night of Watanagashi. So the demoning away doesn't necessarily happen the same night. I really thought it did. Of course, Shion would be willing to cover up a murder. Yeah, I mean... Oh, yeah. It must be... It would stink having to pretend you don't exist. I probably wouldn't mind it as much as a lot of other people because I tend to spend most of my time in my house anyways. But, yeah, not having the freedom to go out and do that, that would stink. He looked tired as always. But as I could tell, he was trying to smile back. My worries suddenly disappeared. I was certain I looked happy. I was aware of that myself, so it must have been obvious to Satoshi-kun.
何があったか知らないけど、ミオンが楽しそうだね。
ええ、楽しいですよ。サトシ君の機嫌が良さそうなので、私も釣られて機嫌が良くなっただけです。
When I teased him, he looked a bit embarrassed. It was like we were back in the good old days. I even felt happier than before.
サトシ君こそ何か機嫌が良くなるようないいことがありま
My
したか？
aunt died. It's great.
いいことなんかないよ。おばさんが亡くなって、警察とかご近所とか、いろいろ大変だよ。
I might have asked something dumb. He seemed to be okay with it, though. He'd frowned a bit at first, but Satoshi-kun continued smiling gently. He looked worn out, but satisfied, like he had accomplished something great. That was the mood I sensed from him. So, I was convinced. The one who killed the wicked aunt who tormented Satoko was him. I had absolutely no proof, but I knew it intuitively. So I omitted all those questions. I knew Satoshi-kun's motive was for killing his aunt, and how badly he was driven into a corner. I knew the environment and the situation he was in. And I knew Satoshi-kun's feelings. I knew all of that. So I omitted all those questions. I wanted to celebrate his release from that curse, so I smiled like nothing was different as I asked.
サトシ君はどこかへお出かけですか？あ、バイトかな？
正解。その前に寄り道なんだけどね。
寄り道？
I have to get a new baseball bat. Mine disappeared last night.
毎日ちゃんとショーケース
Oh,
に
he's
ある
getting
のを
the
確認
teddy
しない
bear.
となんだか不安で。
The conversation reminded me. The reason he started his part-time job was to buy Satoko the huge teddy bear. It was being sold at the toy store just down the street. I recalled that the teddy bear was very expensive. Satoko's birthday was right after the festival. I wasn't sure what day, though. Wait, didn't he say he quit his job? Maybe he was going to greet his ex-coworkers and clean out his locker or something. Either way, he'd be completely free very soon. Maybe he hadn't been paid yet. That's why he wanted to check if they still had the teddy bear. Maybe he was only getting paid on Satoko's birthday. When we got near the toy store, he rushed to the display window. He looked relieved that it hadn't been sold yet.
よかったよかった。大丈夫。ちゃんとあるよ。
買えるだけのお金は稼げてるわけですよね。なら予約とかしちゃえばいいのに。
もう。
He probably hadn't thought of that. He really did need someone to look after him. I looked into the display window over his shoulder. The teddy bear wasn't that cute, in my opinion. It looked huge and cramped in the middle of the store's showcase. Really, it looked more like a display model than an item for sale.
値札がついてないけど、これ本当に売り物なんですか？これ一体いくらするんです？
売り物なのは確認したから間違いないよ。
Everything's for sale. You like my watch?
予算は大丈夫？
大丈夫だよ。ちゃんと確認してあるよ。
Satoshi-kun thought I was teasing him again. He pouted and looked a little sulky.
予算が大丈夫なら問題ないじゃないですか。なら予約しちゃいましょう。その方がサトシ君も心の荷が下りていいでしょうしね。
We entered the store and looked for a clerk.
誰も
Is it
いない
gonna be Mion? Because she does work here.
そりゃ好都合です。サトシ
Oh,
君、
oh,
お給料日を
oh.
待たずにぬいぐるみ
He's
が
gonna
手に
now
入る
realize
から
that
で
they're
すね。
twins. Mion's totally gonna be working here, isn't she?
ダメだよミオン。泥棒はいけ
And
ない
it's
よ。
gonna be a whole lot harder to explain, because at least for Keiichi, she's like, I told you I was Shion. This is like twin. And he's gonna be like, you lied to me. You told me you were Mion. Wait, which one of you kicked my sister into the desk? Stealing is bad. I can't believe Satoshi has to say this. The frog is so derpy. I like the pink elephant in there.
冗談ですって。軽く受け流してほしかったんだけどな。ひょっとして私が盗っ人の真似を平気でできる女だと思ってます？
Yes, I do.
ごめん。
Satoshi-kun smiled apologetically. I puffed up my cheeks to tease him. It had really been a while since the last time we did this. Oh wait, no, hang on. Mion's not going to be here because she said she was laying low for a couple days. In between those times, many undesirable things happened that I wanted to forget. But now I felt as if all those things had simply vanished into the air around us. I found an old person napping in the back. He must be the clerk, I thought. He looked to be fast asleep.
すみません。お店の方ですよね。
I poked his shoulder, but he didn't look like he was going to wake up. When I did that, a middle-aged woman wearing an apron came in.
おじいちゃん、店番頼んだのにすっかり眠りしちゃった。お客さん来てるってのにもうごめんなさいね。うちのおじいちゃんももうすっかり
Grandpa
寝ちゃって
probably should be retired now. Let him sleep. The middle-aged woman shook the old man awake and told him to go back to the living room. She went to the cash register after that.
お恥ずかしいところ見せちゃってごめんなさいね。何かお買い上げ？
買うんじゃなくて予約なんです
You
け
have
ど
the cash on you.
いいですか？あのショーケースの中の一番大きいぬいぐるみなんですけど。
あれ？
Oh, sorry. Someone else already did it. It was Al.
いいの？値札見た？かなり高いけどお小遣い大丈夫？
He's like, yep, I know. That's why I want it.
ギリギリ足りるはずです。
もうすぐバイトのお給料が入るそうなので、それまで予約したいんですけど。
Shion, please don't chime in if you don't know for sure. The woman looked a bit hesitant at first, but she eventually wrote down Satoshi-kun's name and accepted the reservation. Satoshi-kun received a slip of paper.
ね。これでもう誰かに先に買われちゃう心配はもう必要ありません。
I also like the dog plushie. He looks so refined.
お給料がもらえるのはもうすぐなんだけどね。これで安心できる。
Oh, is he gonna be? I'm gonna find the bank account, like, information in the house. He would have kept coming to the check every day if he hadn't done this now. He would have spent his time needlessly worrying. Satoshi-kun looked very relieved indeed. She's gonna be like, oh no, if I hadn't done that, then I could have guaranteed him every day by going to the toy store.
これならもっと早くに予約をしていればよかったな。
普通の人は欲しいと思ったら即予約します。そういう思考に至らないサトシ君はちょいと希少です。
It's so very fun to tease him. Those painful days seem unbelievable now. Satoshi-kun looked like he'd forgotten everything that happened up until yesterday.
でも
Don't head pat her. She's gonna go nuts. Satoshi-kun held out his hand to touch my head. Was he going to stroke it? I felt my face reddening already. Or is he gonna slap you? Even before he touched my head, I felt tingly, remembering the last time. I didn't care about the murder or whatever else happened. As long as Satoshi-kun had his freedom, everything would be alright. Oh man, this is like Twilight now. She doesn't care if the guy she likes is a murderer. He's hot. I'll be content as long as we can live happily from today onward. Well, you can't, because you hate his sister. But Satoshi-kun's hand never reached my head. I slowly opened my eyes and he bitch-slapped me, only to realize that the situation had drastically changed. There were 4 men in suits blocking our way. Uh-oh. Oh no, is Street Gang back for their revenge? It looked like as though they'd been waiting for us to exit the toy store. Oh, it's not Street Gang's revenge. It's not, okay, it's not the delinquents. Uisi's, he's here. The oldest of the 4 men stepped forward while smirking. I'd never met this man, but it looked like he knew both Mion and Satoshi-kun. He was probably a co-op. I ran a search for information in my head, and found some right away.
Konnichiwa. Hojo-san, Sonozaki-san. Oh,
if you want the teddy bear, sorry, we just reserved it. Dang it! This must be Kurado Uisi, the cop who's investigating the series of mysterious deaths. He thinks that the Sonozaki family is behind all of the cases. In other words, he's an enemy of the Sonozaki family. He has deep connections with other investigation divisions in the police force and likes to nose around the businesses in this area. Shion's going to get Mion in trouble because she's going to have to talk to the cops, and that's going to mess things up, and then her family's going to be, Shion, you ruined everything. He annoys the Sonozaki family enough as is by interfering with its Yakuza business, let alone his suspicions on the series of mysterious deaths. Naturally, as the family's successor, he's not a welcome figure to Mion Sonozaki. I tried to imagine how Sis would react.
ありゃ、大石さんですか。お仕事ご苦労様です。大の大人が4人も揃っておもちゃ屋さんに何かご用で？まさかお人形さん買いに来たってわけでもあるまいに。
I know what they want, and it's not a toy. It's probably not me either. They want Satoshi-kun. I took a look at Satoshi-kun. He seemed a bit uncomfortable, and he changed art styles completely. The other 3 cops loosely surrounded us to prevent our escape.
Hojo-san, 実はですね、ちょいと伺いたいお話がありまして。
何それ？任意同行ってやつ？サトシ君、こんなのに付き合う必要ないよ。行こう。
I pushed on his shoulder, but he just stood there looking pale and bewildered. Bewildered? No, he actually looked resigned. Then, I recalled Sis's mistake. It's obvious that he killed his aunt from the circumstances. You don't even have to look at the crime scene. How could Mion have failed to create an alibi? Don't go blaming her. That stupid Mion must have spoken to the police without making anything up at all. She must have not told them something that she knew where Satoshi-kun was. If she hadn't done anything, the villagers wouldn't work to help her. It was just a matter of time before the police uncovered Satoshi-kun's complete lack of an alibi. The police were trying to corner him and lead him to confess. I looked at Satoshi-kun's face once again. He looked like a dead man. He probably didn't know he could refuse to be interrogated. If he was taken to the station and grilled by Uisi, he'd confess in a minute. Somebody had to protect him. Nobody had ever been there for him. I had to step up now. Uh-oh. Photo negative. Now you know things are nuts. But how? Would it be possible to alter what Mion had already told them, saying it was a mistake? That wasn't going to work. If I had more time, I'd come up with an excellent idea. But I didn't have that much time at all. To pressure him, the cops were drawing nearer. Satoshi-kun must have felt intimidated. He might end up turning himself in due to the pressure while I'm stuck trying to come up with something. I had to do something now! I have to say something. Otherwise Satoshi-kun might give in. I have to save him. Uisi drew nearer. Satoshi-kun fell back.
Oh. 大して時間は取らせませんから。そんな怖がらないでください。
It won't take long because they just have the evidence to arrest him. It won't take much time. He just said it. He just said he wouldn't let him out if they caught him now. What? No, he didn't. Am I an idiot? Satoshi-kun, don't give in. If you give in now, everything you've been working for will be ruined. Oh, that was a good squeak. I love it. Satoshi-kun looked like he was at his breaking point. Uisi was clearly aware of it. Uisi smirked, and then held out his arm to grab Satoshi-kun's shoulder. I felt electrified when I saw that. That hand shouldn't be allowed to touch Satoshi-kun. The moment Luis touched his shoulder, he'd give in. He'd go to the police station and confess everything.
サトシ君にアリバイがあるか知りたいわけですよね。
Luis turned his face toward me. His hand left hanging in the air. I wasn't very prepared for this. I just had to stop Luis no matter what. I only needed to gain some time. It didn't really matter what I said.
そうですよ。北条聡さんのアリバイが知りたいんです。
Does he really, though?
私たちの捜査がまずいからなのかな。犯行の時間帯にどうしても北条さんのアリバイが見つけられないんですよ。
The way he phrases things is so perfect, with him being like, oh, like trying to kind of lure you into that false sense of security and then like trapping you. Oof.
仕方ないから恥を忍んでご本人に直接そのあたりをお伺いしようかと思いましてね。
そんなの本人に聞く必要ないです。私がアリバイ証明しますから。
ありゃ、そりゃ本当。
Really? Because we asked everybody else and they said he wasn't there.
なら助かるな。あの晩園崎さんが神社にいてお祭りの最後まで過ごしていたことはすでにあなたからも聞いているし、その他大勢の方からも証言を得ています。そのあなたがそこで北条さんとも一緒だったと言ってくれるなら一番楽なんですがね。でもあんた以前そのあたりをお聞きしたとき、北条さんのことは一言も言ってませんよね。実はいましてって。
Oh, wow.
今頃
You know, it is really convenient that Luisi just mentioned everything we said to him. It's almost like he knows we're two different people.
祭り会場の誰一人北条さんを見ていないのにあなただけは見ていたとそうおっしゃるおつもりで。
そうです。私と一緒にいました。それで十分です。
あなたが仲良しのお友達と終始一緒にいたのは分かっているし、私も会場で実際にお見かけしています。
This guy's too good at his job.
それでも一緒にいたとおっしゃるわけで。そいつはちょっと苦しくない？ん
Luisi approached me with a creepy smile. Okay, could the cops please stop playing the sleigh bells for a minute? Was he teasing me because my excuse sounded funny? I didn't think so. He was frustrated due to being interrupted when he was about to catch a big fish.
祭り会場でずっと一緒に遊んでたのにすっかり忘れてて今頃になって思い出したとそうおっしゃるおつもり？園崎美音さん。
I did get a little scared, but I couldn't stop myself. I could save Satoshi-kun if I revealed my real identity. I was aware of the risk. Grandma would certainly capture me if I revealed it. I didn't think of the consequences after that. Notebook page 27. Oh!
っていうか、私ミオンじゃないですし。
Oh, I see. She's outing herself now. Okay. Okay. I like they just reused the same thumbnail. They literally just reused the same. Did they literally just use the same fade, but they just made Keiji blonde? They're like, that's Satoshi. Hang on. I still have. Or wait, no, that's on a different. No, it's not on a different hard drive. Hang on, I want to pull it up. Higurashi. Yeah, don't lag on me right now, computer. I want to check the previous thumbnail. From chapter 2. It's gonna be here somewhere. Okay, hang on. I wish I could show it on screen. It is basically the exact same picture. Not quite. Keiichi's face is a little higher up compared to Satoshi's. His eyes are a different color. His hair is a slightly different style. There's very subtle differences, but they definitely use the first one as a template. I could just use the exact same thumbnail. That could work. Alright.
だからもともと綿流しになんか言ってません。
あ？
サトシ君とは綿流しの晩は沖宮のファミレスでずっとおしゃべりしてました。エンジェルモートって店ですので、どうぞ店長にも確認を取ってください。
Ooh. Luisi was still smirking, but he apparently felt confused.
あんた何を言ってるの？あんたミオンじゃないなら誰なわけ？
He's like, there's two of them?
園崎シオンです。ミオンの双子の妹です。初めてお会いしますね。こんにちは。
Ooh. Uesi looked perplexed, like he didn't believe what I'd said. Yeah, because it's nonsensical. He frowned.
園崎美音さんに双子の妹がいたなんて初め
It's
て
the
知り
same
ま
artist.
したよ。
No, I know. I'm giving him a hard time. That's all.
あんた、大人をからかってんの？
からかってなんかないですよ。どうぞ戸籍でも何でも調べてみてください。それともお姉を呼んで二人で並んでみせれば
How
信じます？
is Satoshi gonna react to this? All the cops look bewildered now.
園崎しおんさん？
はい。シオンですが、何？
あんたにもちょっと来てもらってもいいですかね。あんたが園崎しおんさんで北条さんと一緒におられたって言うんなら、
望むお手柔らかによろしくお願いいたします。
Getting juicy now. The cops gathered at their car and started discussing something. Looked like they never expected this to happen. I hope to be able to fake Satoshi-kun's alibi for at least a little while. It shouldn't be too difficult to talk to Sis about this, then forge up an alibi together.
サトシ君、何を聞かれてもエンジェルモードで私とおしゃべりをして過ごしていたと言い張ってください。私が何とかしますから。何を聞かれてもよく覚えていないとか、サトシ君なら下手なことは言わず黙り込んだ方が
What
無
is
難
gonna be
か
going
も
on in
です。
his head? Is he gonna think that this is actually just Mion pulling this out of her butt? Or is he actually gonna be like, this is two different people? What? Satoshi-kun wore a startled expression. Though I was telling him something important, he'd apparently decided not to listen.
サトシ君、聞いてま
His
す？
brain's broken. There's been too much that's happened in the
こ
last
こでしっかりし
24
ない
hours.
と刑事たちの思うツボです。
He must have been feeling deceived. No wonder. I just confessed that I wasn't Mion, but her twin sister. I really had been deceiving him.
怒ってます？
なんで？
騙してて。
Oh, that was an interesting laugh. Satoshi-kun started laughing. I didn't know why he'd laugh. Because he wasn't the type of person who would laugh in order to hide something.
たまに教室のミオンと話が食い合わないことがあったから、
Oh!
違和感は感じてたんだ。
It's just a, like, the glass fell from your eyes kind of situation.
やっと
That's not-
わかったよ。
That's not. The scales fell from your eyes.
怒らないでくれるんですか？騙してたこと。
Satoshi-kun looked puzzled. It was like he didn't know whether he should be upset about it or not. Or maybe he was only pretending to be that way.
はじめまして。じゃないんだよね。
はい、そうなります。
そっか。シオンってどう
He's
か。
taken this remarkably well.
詩を読むの詩に音で。
Poetry and sound.
Sionです。
Huh.
シオン。
ん？
いい名前だね。
Oh no, she's gonna go crazy. She's gonna go crazy. Oh, Uesi may not be here anymore. Never mind.
じゃあ
Wow!
二人さん
Immediately.
すみませんが、署までご
Immediately.
同行願いますかね。
I should have known.
粉末でよければコーヒーか紅茶かくらいは選べますよ。
Well, there we go. Higurashi when they cry. New tips unlocked. Notebook page 29. Absentee present covered for a murderer. That's and has a teddy bear as a picture. Great achievement name. Notebook page 29. Either Satoshi-kun was smart or very lucky. Or maybe it wasn't him. The police found nothing at the crime scene to indicate his involvement in the murder. Yet Satoshi-kun was still the prime suspect. Considering his home environment, he had a strong enough motive. He had no alibi. The police had everything other than physical evidence. It wasn't surprising that Uesi took a chance. He probably didn't expect me to step in, but what I did was too little to avert his suspicion of Satoshi-kun. Uesi believed that Satoshi-kun did it. He was waiting for Satoshi-kun to fall apart and confess. That's what both Uesi and I were thinking. But that hypothesis was destroyed later on. I'll not talk about it now, but Uesi's theory will be disproven, and the police will be thrown into shock. A question comes to mind. That is, who saved Satoshi-kun? I can only think of the possibility that the Sonozaki family invented the culprit. Okay, interesting. You know, I think we can do one more part tonight.